I'm not okay. I should clarify this. I mean, I'm not always okay. Like, for example, yesterday, I came home from work and I wasn't okay. But that's okay. This is gonna be one of those videos where a word loses all its meaning, and today that word is okay. Because I'm not always okay. No one is ever always okay. If people were always okay, I would be concerned for those people, also wouldn't believe them. One of the most significant parts of being a person is learning how to deal with the times when you're not okay and how to work to get yourself to be okay. Some people are more not okay than others, and sometimes these people can only be not okay. This is depression. But here's the thing about being depressed, that's also okay. It's okay to not be okay. Now that we've gotten that onslaught of the word okay out of the way, I'm down to not use it for the rest of this video, or at least try to. Let's try to. Here's what I mean when I say that. If something has you sad, if something has you down, if something bad happened in your life, you should be sad, you should be down, because bad things are bad. If you had a really important test that you studied your butt off and you still didn't do so great on it, you should be sad about that. That's a sad thing to happen. On the extreme side of things, if you experience the loss in the family and you're completely devastated by that, you're supposed to be devastated by that because that's a devastating thing. I think our cultural tendency is to put happiness on this pedestal, and as a result, sadness kind of gets kicked repeatedly in the shins over and over again, and that's not good for sadness. Humans like to think in binaries, and this is a pretty straightforward one. Happiness good, sadness bad. I don't agree with that. Let's break it down. Most people look at me and they see a relatively happy person. I like to be outgoing, I like to be optimistic, I like to try to find the positive in things, but I'm way on team sadness. Way on team sadness. I'm also on team happiness because, spoiler alert, you don't have to pick a team. You can be both. As a matter of fact, you should be both. I recognize that in my life, some of the most significant times were also some of the most painful times, but those times I learned a heck ton of stuff from. In the same way that I learned a lot from the good times. The only thing about sad times and bad things happening is that they are usually very major milestones and you have a choice in that moment. And I'm gonna say the word okay again. I'm breaking that. We're doing that again, saying the word okay. Here's why being not okay is okay to me. Because when you're not okay, you have a choice to make. You have a very important choice to make. You can either let that emotion completely consume you so you do nothing about it and are rendered really unable to do anything because you're completely not okay, or you could bust your butt and work to try and make yourself okay. For those people who have had bouts with depression, this choice is really hard to make, and a lot of times you don't even see that the choice is there. You don't see it. And trust me, I've been there. Real hard, I've been there. Real hard. But you almost have to open yourself up to even see that the option exists, because if the option exists, that means that there's a future. That means that there's a tomorrow, and for the depressed person, a lot of times, you don't feel that. But that's why I'm making this video, because that freaking choice exists. It is so there, because even regardless of what happens to you, there's gonna be a tomorrow. The world's gonna keep spinning. Time is gonna keep progressing in the way that we perceive it as people. So that choice to work your butt off to make yourself okay, that's there. Because being happy itself is not a choice. It's not a choice whatsoever, and I hate when people say that because happiness is not a choice. However, the decision to work, to do the things necessary to get yourself to a point where you can be happy, where you can allow yourself to be happy, that's a choice. That's a choice, and that's a choice that I'm very fond of. When people make that choice, that's a choice I'm fond of when I make it myself. Let's bring it back to yesterday. I got home from work and I was not okay. A lot of things caught up with me. A lot of things caught up with me. And for a few hours, I was just kind of laying on the couch, not really absorbing anything. I had the TV on, wasn't really watching it, had my laptop on, wasn't really using it. Just kind of sitting there, hoping for something to come along, but things just don't come along. You gotta make them happen yourself. I was almost sitting there in this cloud of creeping nothing, just kind of coming into my life, assuring me that oblivion is inevitable and that I'll never be happy. But then I got up to get myself something to eat, and I realized in that moment, oh yeah, I have a choice to make here. And I made that choice because, to be honest, there's really only one choice that could possibly be successful, and that's the one where you work your butt off to feel better. So I talked to some friends, I made some music, I just did some of the things that I know make me feel better. And it didn't make me feel better about the day I had, it made me feel about the possibility of tomorrow. Because when you have a crappy day, you can't fix the day because the crap has already happened. It's already gone down. You can't fix that, you can't justify that, you can't make yourself feel better about that. What you can do is make yourself feel better about where you're heading, and that's really all it is. So yeah, I wasn't okay, but that was okay, and I made myself okay with that. Okay, that's pretty much all I gotta say about this stuff. Obviously, I want to hear what you have to think in the comments. I love my comment section so much. It's so dang cool. As always, I'm Connor Manning. You've just become a little more awesome, and I will see you guys on Friday. I was challenged, get pumped for this. I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. Nailed it. I did it. A lot of people were like, video or it didn't happen, because I tweeted about it. And I'm like,